Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys PD and Cal. Say what's up, gents.
What up?
Hey,
Ready to rock.
We're looking at one of the latest Black Panther Forever trailers. Hey,
No, it's Namor. It says on the top. It says Namor.
which is part of Wakanda Forever, but yes, Namor. Let's take a look at this hot outfit the brother is wearing.
Horrible. This horrible,
Play.
horrible outfit. Hold on. I got my headphones on. Take my headphones out. Let's do it again. Oh, no.
You have the volume on?
Only the most broken people.
Oh no. Here we go.
My ancestors would often say, only the most broken people can be great leaders.
Oh my god.
Introducing Namor was really an opportunity to introduce another sovereign ruler of a group of people. He shows up representing Talokan.
He's coming for the surface world.
In Marvel Publishing, Namor was one of the first superheroes, frankly.
They called him Kukulkan.
Feather serpent god.
I can't.
Namor loves his people, and he's gonna protect them because to be a ruler, you have to serve the people. Talocan has a deep meaning for me. It's part of my personal heritage as a Mexican, as an inhabitant of Mesoamerica. Finally, I could find a more powerful representation of my culture with dignity and respect.
I cannot wait for everyone to see Talukan. I'm excited about how we're going to see the world come alive. Both nations want the same thing, which is to preserve and to protect their people, but they're willing to go about it different ways.
I need to know if Wakanda is an ally or an enemy.
Namor is very much concerned with what he needs and what he wants. This delicate dance between the two of them. I get chills just thinking about it.
Namor's looking off the the wings.
Oh, you.
My enemies call me Namor.
Did they call you? No. They call me no more.
They
call me no more.
It looks like a hit to me.
They call me no more.
You know, dude, I don't think. What are you doing?
I paused it.
Was that not a really good trailer? I think it was really good. It introduces to a character. He stands on his own. Is unique. Marvel once again has outdone itself. What can I say?
This looks so bad.
Why does it look bad? Yep. Because you don't like the Mayan art behind it?
I don't want any of that stuff in there. Hollywood loves to throw in the Mayans whenever they can. They try to get them into the first they wanted a scene in the first Star Trek movie with the Mayans at some point. They worked it into Wonder Woman. So it's like something, first thing someone in the room says, what about we throw in some Mayans here? So you hear it all around the bend. Sorry, Wonder Woman had it.
You are so full of it, bro.
No, Wonder Woman had it. Harlan Ellison said he was in the room saying that they were going to start trying to do a time travel thing, and someone said, "Hey, what about the Mayans? Could we add some Mayans in there?" He said, "No, this takes place here at this point in time." Sorry.
Hey, Hollywood loves Mayans, Aztecs, fast cars, men in armor, big monkeys like King Kong, and big spiders.
He just doesn't feel like a swimmer. It feels like he needs to get in the gym and work out.
I looked at this and I was like, "Who is this?" I was like, "Okay, yeah, this is definitely Namor because it's not Namor from the comics." And then I'm like, "They don't even have Atlantis anymore. What is this? Like a piece of Mexico fell into the ocean, and that's what the hell happened?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What?" I'm like, I just don't get this at all. What was the problem with Atlantis from the comic and Namor and the guys under sea are blue, and here they're like, well, we don't want to pay the money. We did the whole thing with Captain Marvel where we had the blue Kree, and we don't do that anymore. So we don't blue in Atlanteans, but hey, we're gonna go this particular route. It's just so odd. to have read this character for so long and see him presented as this in the screen, and you're like, I know what Hollywood does to characters, and if they can come out looking 80 to 90% like they're supposed to, then that means you probably got a good go right here. This and the comic book Namor have nothing in common whatsoever. But I guess that's the way they want it. And they also believe that the juggernaut that is the Marvel Universe on screen can withstand anything because they're saying that people don't care. Their first introduction to Namor will be in the film, and then they'll go to the comic, say, who the hell is this guy? The film thing is so much better, in spite of this guy having a history that's he's been around almost as long as Superman. And they'll say, hey, everything that you guys did right here, that's fine. And then the stuff about, oh, this represents, my culture. Dude, your people aren't underwater.
There we go.
The fact that they're wearing the Mayan dress and so on and so forth. These are Atlantis was a fictional place at the end of the day, and the fact that they have decided to incorporate these things, it's still fictional. All right, it's still fictional at the end of the day. The need for this is so wild. It really is, especially when you already have established characters in the Marvel Universe that if you wanted to do this, you could have done this. They could have gone to El Dorado, which is a place in the Marvel Universe, and they could have done all of that type of stuff right there, and it would have definitely worked out. But now, since you got El Dorado underwater, I suppose we don't need It's just wild. It's wild. It really is.
Well, I mean, ultimately, I don't know. The hard part is all this dressing on Namor when he's a real, like it's almost getting to 300. But hey, let's do. What if we had the Mayan version of that? Xerxes. Let's kind of do that, and we're gonna have someone that just doesn't have the what's it this Michael Phelps, like have someone that like a swimmer body, like something like the apex of that. Like this guy looks like, oh, he needs to get back on the treadmill. I'm sorry, apologies. But the Namor is a character when even in the early stages, it's just fun to have him show up and just cause havoc in the Marvel universe against the Avengers and FF, and then in the Daredevil issue where basically he had a plan to kind of they came with a wacky plan and they try to try him, but it's just one of the more fun issues to have when you have a character with no powers. You can't beat Namor, but he has a show of hero, being a hero and whatnot. So I don't know. This was a great character. The character is much maligned in the Marvel universe now, and now they're just saying, hey, since everybody hates him, we can make what we want. Yes, Mayans, perfect.
Because they told those terrible stories. They had Namor flooding playful cities like every other week.
Well, it's like it works. It works back in the day. What?
Namor was not exactly one of the best, the more favorite characters. You know that, and I know that. He was a character we didn't know which way he would fall sometimes, right?
It's supposed because he was an anti-hero. You're not supposed to know which way he's gonna fall.
Okay, that's just not true. Okay, Namor is one of the more popular characters in the Marvel universe. All right, they brought him back with the Fantastic Four. He had his own series. He's a founding member of the Defenders. He's had his own series again. I think he had his own series twice. They had him join the Avengers. They got a lot of usage out of Namor, and then it became, I don't know when it became that Namor was just going to be, a jerk, on a larger level than Namor would normally be a jerk. But I remember one time I checked into Marvel here and there, and I think at one point I checked in, I was like, Namor flooded Wakanda. I was like, okay. And then I checked back in, Namor flooded where? I'm like, what's up with Namor? What the hell is going on with this character right now? And they just decided, okay, we're just going to put him out there. He's going to get the Cyclops treatment. He's just going to be a jerk. Okay. And we're going to cement that because that's not necessarily the character's history. That's just how we feel about him right now. And then if we decide to change it, hey, we can change it or we cannot change it. But to say that Namor wasn't a popular character is just not accurate. Okay, he was one of the guys they brought back with the Silver Age along with Captain America, and the readers liked him. He was a great, not so much a villain for the Fantastic Four, but a great foil. I mean, he's the first supervillain team up with Doctor Doom. Okay, plenty of stuff that they did with this guy. Okay, where he got a series where somebody else didn't necessarily do it, and he's Marvel's along with Captain America and the original Human Torch. He's Marvel's direct connection to the Golden Age that they love to try to make. So he's a very important character for them. And this right over here is, oh man, this is just not him. Okay, this is just not him. I get there's a lot of sausage making when it's time to make these films, but this is, hey, it's not even his name.
Look,
okay?
I agree with you.
It's
I'm not disagreeing with you. I understand that, but I'm saying right now the character they're using for Namor, does he not have a visually stunning appearance? Does he not look as though he has the same level of power?
No, he don't look like he got no power. The closest thing that looked like power was that scene with M'Baku.
He looks like
hit him.
He looks like he belongs in a dance hall video from the 1990s with Buju Banton or something.
Oh my gosh, you guys are horrible, bro. I think you guys are horrible.
Boom, bye bye.
Oh God! Wow. Oh man, that's a hard. Well, the hard part is even looking at this is the interesting thing was that he basically had the trunks and his armbands outside of the. Yeah, they just.
Hang on, don't move that image. I want to take a. Okay. Yeah, this isn't Namor. I don't know who this guy is. This isn't Namor. This is Namor.
They call me Namor.
So disappointing.
My enemies call me Namor.
They don't call me anymore. Like, come on, that joke. And the flying, like they keep trying to show, hey, look, we did it. We did the what's the name. Most of the time, just take any John Buscema picture of him. With him, it just looks like so physically powerful, and then
the wings
like it just
the wings don't move. Namor flies, the wings don't move. We don't even see like the little lines by the wings to even suggest it. At the end of the day, he just flies. That's it.
I think it looks different, for it moving. I don't think it's a negative. And then remember,
it's like it's on a freaking platform. They keep trying to show you, hey, look, he's floating. We did the wings on his feet. When it just should be like the little bit of scene they show when he's showing him going quick. Ultimately, he's walking around and then he flies, not floating around.
And Namor is still a king. He's supposed to have a certain bearing, a certain majesty about him. That's one of the reasons why he attracts the ladies, because he's arrogant. He comes across, okay, he still has that animal magnetism. That's why he can walk around in the trunks. But to see his ankles going like Tinkerbell or Hummingbird, that totally defeats the whole thing. So again, but hey, the good news for all of us who really love Namor, there's still plenty of great Namor in the comics up to a certain year, and you can always read that, and Namor will be as he should be. This guy right over here, no idea why they decided to do this. Don't know. But this is also a film where they decided they were not going to recast T'Challa, that they were going to decide to pass it on to Shuri, because we can't do any recasting for people once they have passed away, with the exception of all the other times they have done it, and the recasting that they will continue to do in the future. So this is what we're getting, people. But from what I'm hearing, in terms of the overall reaction to this film, from the big wigs and the insiders, this film is supposed to do boffo box office. Okay, buku bucks, if you will. Which means we will never see T'Challa as the Black Panther again.
It's over.
Thanks, Mars.
Thanks,
Mars.
Hey, I'm just trying to get this story. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so
I blame you. I blame you, Mars.
You guys are crazy. That's what I gotta say.
They couldn't even successfully cancel Shuri. That's the hard part. They almost had it, and they couldn't even cancel her. It's like the whole Flash thing. But there we go. It just looks too much bells and whistles, too much dormant. No reason to have some sort of jade between his nose and whatnot. We don't need to see none of that. It's not. Come on. It's a Marvel character. They don't go for outside. If you're doing a Jim Lee type or you're doing the Frank Miller Xerxes, he's a very streamlined. Even from the beginning, like from the Bill Everett version, very streamlined character. Trunks, wings on his feet, and it slowly over time developed the flathead. Right? You don't have to do the flathead, but at the same time you can do the swimmer's hair like John Buscema kind of did. Just call it a day. But like I think there was a model, that guy Nigel, who's on what's the name? That's a close thing where you could see this is what it kind of be like a Namor type of thing, and they just kind of missed the mark trying to play up this other culture and have this, and being inclusive and what we were talking about. Whereas Marvel's been doing everything right, they've been slipping in their wokeism into all this stuff for a while now, and I think this phase has been kind of weakened by it. Now having the Wakanda Amazons versus Namor type of story. When basically Namor, with his power, you might be able to take him on without anyone. Ultimately, when he fought the Fantastic Four and he had the Atlantis attack, that's the thing. We don't get any of the crossovers Marvel did. The one that when I liked the issues that I got was Atlantis attacks, and in the backup they had this nice history of Atlantis going on in there, like this well involved history. Now I'm not crazy enough to buy every bit of the crossover. I couldn't do that, but at the same time, it was the most fun having that. The brides set, all that stuff happening, all that big sort of storyline. It's Mariner seemingly dying during this thing, and all that other stuff happening. You had all this fun stuff going on in there, but yeah, now we're gonna have the Mayan version of that story. Who knows? Will the said Mariner get us a movie of his own where he got all these? Well,
no, he will. No, he will not.
Yeah, you're talking about why not?
Namor may get a movie, but
no, he's gonna be like the Hulk in this. He's gonna be a character that pops up in a movie, gets beat down by someone to show how strong they are, how they overcome the strength of Namor. Hey, look, Shuri actually she used all the skill and she was able to take down Namor.
You guys are crazy, bro. That's all I gotta say.
I am.
I think we're belaboring the point. So the fact of the matter is, I think we have.
What's the name? What's the real name, Mars? What's his name? What does he go by in this?
Namor.
No. What's the name that they said? What's the name?
Calling Khan. Okay.
Is anyone gonna have a straight face in that scene in the movie? I'm gonna be the one they're gonna kick out for laughing at that scene in the movie. Are they gonna make me the one who offends everyone for laughing at the name?
Yes. They won't be kicking you out alone.
I think you will be alone because you guys are gonna look at the movie and you guys are gonna say, "Wow, what a movie!"
They're gonna say his name and we'll be like, "Kubla Khan." Hey, that's cultural appropriation.
Yeah, it's a sad day for for Marvel for Phase 4.
This is still Phase 4.
I don't know what is it. Phase? What is Phase? It's still
Phase.
Phase.
It's the end of Phase 4.
It's the end.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Come on, Phase 5. Phase 5. Leave all this behind, please.
It's funny how you have something like Love and Thunder that did terribly, and they're just sweeping it under the rug. We're just moving on. We overran Thor. We didn't too far. When you could see in the first movie, they kind of were messing up in the Ragnarok. They were kind of messing up the whole thing, but they let him do whatever he wanted, and
well, what can you say? This is but again, this is supposedly this film is supposed to preserve the legacy of the Black Panther as was established by Chadwick Boseman. I just don't see it.
Everything you see, they keep having there's no cell of. Oh no, actually, was it? It did almost 800 million. Love and Thunder. So I don't know why people are flipping out against it.
No, the numbers on that were fine. They didn't have any issue with the numbers. It was the story, but then you go online and these guys want to trash it like it made $80.
Yeah, I don't understand. They keep mixing every time I go to this stuff, especially Marvel stuff. hey, this thing didn't do, it did okay.
I think a lot of those guys over, they probably moonlight as Republican pollsters. Like, like, hey, look at these numbers. Guys
It
got no
didn't do
shot.
a billion plus like Spider-Man. Well, you know how many characters, how many guys you had, you know how many babes you had in Love and Thunder. Well, wait a second. You can't say that. You can't say they overran it with babes. Well, actually, you can't say babes. So my argument is moot.
Got it. Okay, guys. So I guess we're belaboring once again this thing. So we like that Namor is involved in this show. We wanted to see
Now you're
the
even
battle
saying
between
the more.
Wakanda and Atlantis, or excuse me, Kulikan, or wherever the heck they are, Talokan, excuse me. So we're all for that. We want to see it. This movie looks
We're
as though
all
it's gonna be good,
against it.
and we are giving this a thumbs up. So hey, if you like the comments, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Spin rack.
Out.
Out.
Sadly out.